you gotta give this guy a big thumbs up because I read an interview that he have to suffer 9 months, literally 9 months, eating chicken breasts and broccoli just to get that shape. Man, you gotta give applause to that kind of commitment because for me, I can't.
There's 1,000 men down there, 20,000 more on the way. We don't stand a chance.
A normal man can do the impossible to save the woman he loves. My husband is no normal man.
The Legend of Tarzan. Well, The Legend of Tarzan serves as a sequel to the Tarzan universe that we all came to know of, but this film is directed by David Yates, who gave you a lot of good Harry Potter's film, even the upcoming the Fantastic Beasts and Where They Come From the upcoming movie is kind of like a Harry Potter spin-off. So let's talk about The Legend of Tarzan. I watched a lot of trailers for this one, but the trailer doesn't give me the excitement because we already know Tarzan from how we know him. I think majority of us were very, very used to the Disney version of Tarzan now that this is a Warner Brother. So I find like this film maybe doesn't have the resources to the original Tarzan movie, the origins of Tarzan, how he grew up with apes and that. But but this movie really serves as a sequel to the Tarzan origin. When I watched this trailer, I was thinking like this could be a very, very action heavy with no dialogue brainer kind of movie. But actually, I was surprised in some ways. But this film, it does have a. Let me give you a short synopsis. Christoph Waltz is playing this character who is trying to get diamonds from a character from a tribe. Then he can send a lot of army to wipe out the entire nation of tribe people, and so Tarzan have to go back to the jungle, get back all his his animal instinct to stop Christoph Waltz. And then you have this film tries to give you a backstory, but actually I entered this movie wanted to have a origin movie instead because I'm very, very fond of the Disney version of the origin Tarzan story. So I entered this film thinking that I'm getting another origin movie, but because it's been a long time having an origin movie, so I was hoping to get an origin movie so that because it's a live action, so that's what I thought. But at the end of the day, it is a sequel. But at the same time, there's a lot of flashbacks showing how Tarzan comes. So this film doesn't work well for me in terms of the flashback because it kind of confuses some of the audiences who doesn't know the Tarzan. So a lot of when I watched this movie in the cinema, there's a lot of people in the cinema was thinking that this is an origin movie. Literally every one of them. So please don't expect that this is an origin movie. This serves as a sequel to it. The storyline was actually not bad, but the problem with the film was the pacing of the film. The pacing of the film and the editing of the film was a bit off to me because there are a lot of cuts jumping here and there, so it doesn't like sync very well. But there are a lot of shots that can be taken out that shouldn't be there. That is at least how I feel. But overall, you can understand what is really going on. But I was hoping that the flashback plays very, very well in this film. But somehow it doesn't stick to the film quite well. That's how I think at least. Okay, I want to talk about the characters. Tarzan, you have Jane. Then you have additional characters like Samuel L. Jackson, Christoph Waltz. Okay, I want to talk about Tarzan. That guy was fine. He's not too bad nor too dull for me. But I mean, maybe that's how Tarzan is. Okay, I want to talk about Margot Robbie as Jane. Maybe I'm very, very used to the Disney version of Tarzan because the Disney version of Tarzan, Jane, the character Jane is English, but in this film she's American. I felt a bit something's not right because I always known Jane as the English woman instead of American woman. So there's slightly off. Maybe I've never read the book before, so that's how I feel. Crystal Wars is doing his Crystal Wars stuff, but a bit toned down. When I watched Crystal Wars in this film, some part of me felt a bit tired of Crystal Wars because you are seeing Crystal Wars again as the villain. How many villains does he has to play in his life? Seriously? You got Samuel L. Jackson. I personally think that Samuel L. Jackson didn't do badly in this film, but he somehow act as a comic relief, but which he kind of does. Most of the Samuel L. Jackson's part in this movie was quite fun, to be honest. I did enjoy most of the time. The other characters was fine. It wasn't that bad at all. Okay, I want to talk about in terms of the four segment of it. The first act of the movie was quite interesting, to be honest, because Tarzan he already had this established life in England, so he was like, and then Jane married to Tarzan. His real name is John Clayton. I think it's called Clayton if I'm not mistaken. John Clayton III, something like that. So he regained back status. So he's trying to go back to the jungle, regain back all his animal instinct. The first act was quite interesting how they set up the film, and then slowly going back to the second act. It was still okay where it was okay, but starting the third act was kind of a bit off because the action pace was quite too fast, to the point like the editing it was a bit choppy, and then some parts it doesn't seriously make sense. The fourth act of the film, of course, is where the big action goes down like every other movie. The fourth act was very off, to the point a lot of the stuff doesn't even really make sense. Some of the action it doesn't really make sense. But the first half of the film was quite good. The second half was a bit off. But I really do felt like there are some unnecessary part in this film that doesn't need to be there. But there are some parts that needed to be there. Maybe those are the deleted scenes. That's how I think. But at the end of the day, I felt I entered this movie wanted to have an origin movie, but ended up I actually kind of enjoyed the direction of the movie, because this film was set up as a sequel to Tarzan. Like what happened to Tarzan when he marries Jane, and then he has an established life in England, something like that. I want to give credit to the director about this, but other than that, it was slightly a bit off. The cast was okay. They are not too bad at all. So, I can say it's okay. It's not that bad. So I'm going to give Legends of Tarzan a 6 out of 10. So, what do you guys think about the movie? Maybe you guys can give me some comments. What do you think about the movie? So I'll try to reply you all. And this is my new setup, something like that. I think I will be changing posters quite often. So I have one of my favorite films, Civil War. Captain America Civil War. Then I have one of the most disappointing film, but I did enjoy it somehow, Batman vs Superman. And then I have some stuff here, so I have my figurines right here, then my editing and gaming rig right here. This is my computer, and then there's my tablet or something like that. So yeah, I think that's it. Maybe you can click the links to see my other reviews, and then subscribe to my channel to see more. And I'll see you all next time.